morning, Taurus. Here to do your December reading. And it's 12/2/2020. Lots of twos. So we're going to roll some dice for you. Get 5 pieces. I took out a couple pieces here for us to look at while we talk and roll the dice. That's the Hierophant and the... Geez, what is this? It's the 5 of coins. 5 of pentacles. If it looks like a car wreck, it's because it is a car wreck. So, before we get started, I always like to do something different. Just come up with something out of my head. Like rolling this dice and picking the pieces in the boxes, they're moved around constantly. There's a lot of randomness involved in this, which also has to do with being intuitive. So I just picked up a book this morning, opened it up to first page that I came to, see, had no idea what it would be. And the book is Serendipities by Umberto Eco. Great man, great writer, educator, and he's also considered a linguist. This particular book is a lot about language. So I didn't know how this would relate to the reading today, except open a page and I read it. This happens to be chapter 2. Page 22 actually is a blank page. So maybe there's something there. But I started reading from page 24. Oh, here's something else. Genesis 2:23 is mentioned in here. Here Adam sees Eve for the first time, and here for the first time the reader hears Adam's actual words. Adam is quoted as saying, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman." So this whole section turns out to be about naming things, words, first words, God's first words, Adam's first words. This is about the animals being named. Let me see, I'll read a little bit of it to you, not much, just to get the idea. He talks about God speaking to Adam, but probably not in the way we speak with, not in the language we speak, not in the words. Maybe it talks about a thunderclap or special grace. Anyway, it was at this point, and only at this point, that out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. The interpretation of this passage is extremely delicate matter. Clearly, we are here in the presence of a motif common to other religions and mythologies, that of the name giver, creator of language. It is not at all clear on what basis Adam actually chose the names he gave the animals. The version in the Vulgate, the source of European culture's understanding of this passage, does little to resolve this mystery. Basically says that the only translation we can get out of it is he called them by their own names. Whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Thus Adam might have called the animals by their own names in 2 senses. Either he gave them the names that, by some extra-linguistic right, were already due them, or he gave them those names we still use on the basis of a convention initiated by Adam. Okay, so you get the idea. So basically, naming is very important. That comes up over and over. And how does that relate to tarot reading today? Well, I think a lot of people come to watch a tarot to have something that's in their head named in a sense, to bring it into form, into clarity, to bring clarity to maybe some confusion or question. A lot of tarot is based on questions, the querent. Maybe that's why you're here today. And I hope we find an answer for you. picking these pieces, and we'll get some words and maybe get little pieces here and there that you can put together along with other things, other signs, symbols in your life, give you what you're looking for today. Okay, so let's roll. What does Taurus want to know today? We have 52 upright. It's upright because the square dice, when it's an even number, we read them as upright. When it's an odd number, we read them as reverse. So, 52 upright. What does Taurus want to know? What can we tell Taurus today? What message is going to give for Taurus? It's a reverse. 60 in reverse. And I have no idea what these numbers correlate to as far as the pieces go, the sculptures. I don't know until I go pick them out of the boxes. This is upright, 54. So you have a 52 and a 54 upright. We'll get some different pieces today. Tend to get similar pieces. I have no idea why. Same thing with when we use cards. Is that another 6? That's 60. Wow, look at that. 66 upright. 66. That's a 6, a 6, and a 6. Oh boy. Oh my God. Okay, one more. One more for Taurus. This is a reverse. Another 6, it looks like. Yeah, 6. 6 in reverse. You got a lot of 6s. Okay, before I go, I'm going to just say this is the Hierophant back here. As I said earlier, this is the 5 coins, Taurus piece. Give you a little better look at it. Represents a car wreck. 5s are pretty much all car wrecks in tarot. And it's interesting because we have a car wreck, which could, this other piece, the Hierophant, could be the law. Could have to do with contracts and lawyers and judges and all that. Hopefully you're not dealing with anything like that. I just chose them because they're both Taurus pieces. And why are they? I have no idea. It's the way tarot was made. One is very solid as you could be, the Hierophant, and one is kind of having a lot of problems right now. Okay, so I'm going to go get the pieces. Be right back. Okay, Taurus, back with your pieces. Very interesting. Some of these tend to come out fairly often. The majorette in the middle, especially. The Fool as well. I'd say the one that doesn't come out that much is the first one in the bottom left, which is the Ace of Cups. I recommend just using your eyes, come up with your own story. Maybe pausing the video for a while. Just go by what you see. Looking around, be pretty hard to tell what these pieces are in relation to tarot cards, except for the Ace of Cups. You might guess the majorette is the Two of Wands, and that the dog represents the Fool. But the oysters in the back might be a little difficult to guess that they're the Four of Pentacles. Makes sense once you know. The 4 pearls represent coins, like money or something. And then the last piece in the back corner, back right corner, looks kind of like a monument or something. That's the 10 of Pentacles. So we do have some pentacles here. Both pieces are in the back. Those little R's represent reverses. When I just look at this, I make believe I've never seen anything, that I see here now before. I would see almost like, I would think of a marching band with maybe a small town that's near the water. The dog's there. There's a park with a monument. Kind of like a normal town or small city. Like, I think of Atlantic City. I grew up near there. The ocean's nearby. There's fish, clams, oysters, dogs. My mother was a majorette. And there's certainly monuments. When you go to Atlantic City off the Black Horse Pike, there's a monument right in the center there. Not like this though, but something built by the state, local government. So we all have our own history to bring to life, good and bad. Wonder what yours is. You could write your own little story in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. But I'm going to go through the pieces real quick, and then I'll give kind of like an overview what it means to me. Part of it's like being a detective, figuring it out myself based on my intuition and what the cards are supposed to mean. I don't want to get hung up on that too much. Anyway, the Ace of Cups, bottom left, right down here. The Ace of Cups is water, of course. And water has to do with emotions and love. I mean, I could spend a long time just talking about the Ace of Cups. It's like, just like you could talk about love forever. This represents true love, blissful love, deep love in the way it's meant to be, which encompasses the heart, the soul, spirit, a lot of things we don't understand. Love is kind of a mystery, how it works. The second piece, the Two of Wands, the majorette, that's Aries. And, in the upright, that's about balance, control. Of course, it takes practice to be a majorette. We have to become balanced, really, is a daily practice in our life. It's fiery energy, it's a fire sign. But in reverse, it lacks fire. It lacks that passion. The passion could be gone completely. Or it's just like a sense of lack or being stuck. It takes a lot of hard work to learn how to twirl batons and throw them in the air and catch them. Big crowds are watching. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of skill. So if we don't have it, if we don't have that passion, probably not going to be the best majorette. Of course, that relates to everything in life. The third piece is the Fool. Man's best friend, the Fool, the dog. There's usually a dog in traditional tarot cards that show him holding on to his friend, master, whatever you want to call him, onto his clothes because he's just about to go over the cliff because he's so carefree. He's not paying attention. He doesn't care what's going on. He's just kind of running along. That can cause danger. But the general feel of the Fool is it's a major arcana, very strong energy. It's about letting go, being carefree, off on one's own, trying to, in a way, get a different look at things. It's great for creativity. There's a few pieces here that relate to creativity, including the Two of Wands. The Fool can also be that whatever we've been doing isn't satisfying and we need to break away. I could see that happening a lot around now because there's so many restrictions put on us. So it's an energy that in this spread is very strong and important. If these were lined up in a long line, that would be the centerpiece. Then we go back to the pentacles. All the pentacles are in the back. 4 and 10, 14. 1 and 4 is 3. If you're into numerology, threes might mean something to you. We have the Fool as a 0, 3, 0, and then we have the Ace of Cups, that's a 1. 3, 0, 1, 10, 2. So the 4 of Coins, 4 of Pentacles in the back is Capricorn and the Sun. That means after we've worked, we had the Ace, we were inspired. The 2, where we start to work on it and check and see if that's really what we want, plan. Go to the 3, things are starting to come together. Go to the 4, and we have enough now where we kind of want to start protecting what we've worked hard for and defend the foundations that we built. The last piece is the 10 of Coins, and that's in reverse. Normally the Ten of Pentacles is a great piece to get. Talk about strong foundations, having everything you need, plus enough for future generations. Built a legacy. In fact, the metal that's associated with the Ten of Pentacles is the diamond. That's why I use diamonds here to create this monument of sorts, this abstract geometrical artwork. So it has to do with wealth, stability, a lot of things related to the earth signs, the earth energy. This is Virgo and Mercury. So what I get out of this is, I see this as a love reading, believe it or not, but it's almost a struggle between love and foundation. It's almost split 50-50 in my mind, what I see here. I think it's a struggle between, on the one hand, staying put in a comfort zone where we have everything. We have the house, the car, children, whatever. We have everything, like the Ten of Pentacles. We're working, part of us wants to work and keep that. That's normal, makes sense. But love has nothing to do with those things. And that first energy, the Ace of Cups, is about the deepest kind of love there is. And it looks like there's a decision somebody's struggling with here, with the Two of Wands, back and forth. Could be about there's love, and it doesn't balance, in the mind anyway, with the stability of the house and the job and where one lives, or, suburbs, or maybe you like the suburbs, but that's not best for your career. I mean, it's not best for love. You would have to move if you chose love over the Pentacles. Do you want to run off like the Fool? Is it in your heart? Is your intuition telling you to run off like the Fool and start a new chapter, go with a heart over head instead of the other way around? And, if you look back at the first piece I took out, I brought out the Hierophant in the beginning. That's your energy. And he's like very, very conservative. Could be the lawmaker, even the Pope. In Italian, the Hierophant is called Il Papa. So what would the Pope or the courts say about this decision that you're going back and forth in your head about? What would they say? Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the main meaning of it is about a dysfunctional family unit. Could be because of love. Could be, they say the Two of Wands is about juggling other people maybe. Could be blood ties are involved and they're causing trouble, other family members. Could be about valuing material things over love. What's the choice? Do we bind ourselves to what society's rules are, no matter what it costs? Or do we listen to our intuition, the part of us that it's hard to rectify with our brain? Some things don't seem like they make sense. Like, why would you feel like that? And why would you leave the comfort that you have now for something like love? Kind of intangible, but it is tangible. It's driven many wars. Love makes the world go round, right? Isn't that what they say? So anyway, that's what I get out of this. And since it's a love reading, I think we should pull a Rumi card, Rumi Oracle card. I sometimes clarify with regular tarot cards, but it seems pretty clear to me. All right, let's look into the Fool. Let's see what this Fool is doing here. I already shuffled. I'm just going to shuffle enough to get a popper here. What's going on with this Fool? Why is the Fool here in the spread? What does Taurus need to know? Okay, we got one. What is it? Well, I wrote the Wheel. Let me see it. It's in a few languages. Let me get this thing. Now if you could focus on that. The Wheel. There's no stopping the wheel. The wheel turns. Never ending. You see the one on the right side? They're face down, head down, like they're going to crash. Then there's somebody with the wheel on top of their back. There's somebody at the top. Sometimes we're going up, sometimes we're going down. So the Fool Is that saying it's like the natural course of things, or something has ended? The natural course of things, something ends and something starts. Let me put this R in front of it. I'm going to move it down a little. Let's get one more. So I would take that to mean, when it comes to the Fool, that it's time. That it's time for that. It's time for the wheels turn. It's time to be carefree, go with that change. Whenever we have problems, the main two things we can do is, first, we need to love ourselves. The second is to go with the flow of the universe. There's no sense in fighting it. It's going to keep going. It's not going to go away. All right, there we go. What's this one? This is Fonte di Coppe in reverse. That's the Page of Cups in reverse. Again, this was for the Fool. Interesting. Seems contrary to what I would think the Fool stands for. Well, Page of Cups in reverse is an overly sensitive person, and those intense feelings can cause immense joy or grief. So how does that relate to the Fool? The biggest challenge is to deal with the darker emotions. It can cause a lot of doubt. This is where doubt comes in. Again, it's sitting on the two of Wands, which is about choices. It seems like there's doubt, and that was, let me see, yeah, that was in reverse too. Yeah. So the choices were not clear, and that's what's causing, and them choices not being clear have led to some kind of disappointment. And I think that's how it relates to the Fool. That now just the feeling is to break away from that, free oneself. When I say that, I don't mean like running out the door necessarily. I'm talking about free oneself emotionally, mentally. It could mean moving or, factors in the real world, tangible things. But again, the best thing to do is kind of don't push yourself too much or take whatever's happening too personally. It's like the wheel is turning. That's not really personal all the time. It's just change is inevitable. All right, let's pull a, what's I going to pull? Rumi. Let's pull a Rumi card. Okay, this is the Rumi book, Rumi Oracle. Lana Fairchild. So what happens here is we have cards. I did shuffle them earlier. I'll shuffle them a couple more times. Running out of room here though. Oh, man. I don't know, I get the sense this, what's happening here in this reading makes sense for a lot of people. And I think it's actually harder on people on earth signs who tend to be more logical, stable, conventional, conservative. With our situation, say you're in a marriage or, you're in quarantine with somebody for months and months, you can really find out if we're really as compatible as we thought we were and what's really important to us. It's going to change the whole world in so many ways we can't even imagine. All right, let's go for a popper. What does Taurus need to know? What can we tell Taurus? These are big cards. The opposite of the cards you see in front of you. That's the Visconti deck, those little cards. One card for Taurus, please. Okay. Haven't seen this one before. Looks cool. A little scary almost though. Doesn't have quite as much color. I think it says Layla. Is that Eric Clapton song? Layla. I could be pronouncing it wrong. Okay, this is number 34. 3 and a 4. Another 3. We talked about 3s a couple times here. Okay, found it. This is from Rumi, 13th century poet. Greatly loved here in the United States. One of the top-selling author poets. Put aside your clever schemes. O lover, be mindless. Become mad. Dive into the heart of the flame. Become fearless. Be like a moth. Turn away from the self and tear down the house. Then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover. Live with lovers. Clean your chest from all hostility. Wash it 7 times. Then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love. Be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. When going to the gathering of drunks, be a drunk. Become drunk. Your thought takes a course dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought. Let your heart lead. Be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb. Be a comb. Rumi. So when the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. This is exactly what I was talking about in the entire reading. Let's find a couple lines. O lover, be mindless. Become mad. Dive into the heart of the flame. So this is all about heart over head. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. Yeah, this book is amazing. I highly recommend getting it for yourself. I'll show you this in case you want to screenshot it and read it later in your own way. Okay, Taurus, thanks for coming. Hope you come back again soon. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love y'all.